Talk about the failure of the Timberwolves. That's not even on.
What's the fear of the Timberwolves?
Look, the massive, colossal trade they made for Rudy Gobert to end up in the 10th seed in the West. That is going to go down as one of the worst trades within the last 5 to 10 years.
I can't think of a worse trade other than the Nets when they traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett.
That might have been number one. This goes right behind them.
Because I'm thinking about it, I can't think of another scenario where it's like that bad. Because they traded 5 players for 1 player, which is Rudy Gobert,
with the picks.
and then they traded like 3 to 5 first round picks.
They mortgaged their future for paint that is no longer going to be open. That paint in Minnesota Timberwolves, their offense is just clustered.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. You have Rudy Gobert and you have Karl Anthony Towns going from an inside player to now an outside player. Rudy Gobert cannot. I don't even want to. What can you do with that? How far can you go?
Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns
with a 4 or 5 lineup in the playoffs. Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns. What is your hope to accomplish there?
Off the top of my head, I know it's D'Lo. I know it's Anthony Edwards.
That's fine.
I know it's Karl Anthony Towns. I know it's Rudy Gobert.
That's fine.
I can't remember their fifth.
Well, you said Anthony Edwards. You said D'Lo.
Yeah. I can't remember their fifth. I don't think their fifth really matters. I'll look it up in a second, but it's just interesting for me how you can have a successful season last season in terms of being in the play-in, not making the playoffs, but being in the play-in, to now being in the play-in again, but being a worse team, and you made basically a blockbuster trade.
There's definitely some questions there.
The Timberwolves are the sole reason why Kevin Durant didn't get traded. Because teams were looking at it and saying, if that's what you're going to get for Rudy Gobert, what are you going to get for Kevin Durant?
I remember that.
So I'm kind of confused of what the Timberwolves are doing. I've always said I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is that guy that you put your franchise behind.
Are they a contender?
I mean, they should be.
That trade made it seem as if they are trading to contend. Their intentions.
I don't think the Timberwolves are a contender, but I think the Timberwolves should be exactly where the Grizzlies are right now, which is the Grizzlies are right now, to me, a contender. Like this bona fide.
I agree.
But remember last year when it was like their breakout season?
Do you want to know why, though? The Grizzlies are a true contender. They played just as well without Ja Morant as they do with him.
That's a good point.
I don't think the Timberwolves are the same team without Cat. I don't think you can be successful without Karl Anthony Towns.
I mean, they're not even successful with Karl Anthony Towns.
They're not, but it's like a lose-lose scenario there. With the Grizzlies, you can say their success isn't fully on Ja Morant because they win without him, but then you do know you need that key piece in the playoffs.
This is Ja Morant's 3rd or 4th year in the league.
I believe this is 3rd, right?
I think he came in the same time
2019, no?
Into 2023. We're going into 20. So this is his 4th season.
Wow, time flies.
So it's Ja Morant's 4th season. Because Zion is getting his contract extension after the summer. He just got his contract extension.
Right.
So all right, let's do it just a position right now. So we have Karl Anthony Towns. What do you think about Anthony Edwards? How big of a ceiling do you see for him? Because if we're talking about
he's a proven. I feel like he can be a proven scorer.
But is that it
in the NBA? Is
that it?
I don't really. And what I say for a player to have true potential and a high ceiling, you have to be a two-way player, especially in a player in his position. You consider him as a 3, right?
I consider him as a 2.
Forward?
I consider him he's like 6'5". I consider him a 2.
Okay, you can say
6'5" to
2.
6'7".
What 2 do you know in the NBA that is successful without being a two-way player in this league today?
What do you define as successful?
Successful as multiple All-Star appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Can be a starting 2 on a contending team, contending for a championship, and possibly win a ring with his team.
I mean, the 2s that come up to mind would be like Zach LaVine.
I don't agree.
I don't think Zach LaVine could be. I
think there's only a handful of those.
Wait, you're saying that a two-way. You're saying a 2 that's a proven scorer but not a 2-way that can contend or would be good.
Can be a starting player on a contending team.
Starting player on a contending team, that's a lot of 2s.
Really?
On a contending team, that's a lot of twos.
Let's go down the list.
I mean, you can. I mean, you're telling me. You're telling me.
My point is, all of them play defense.
What I'm saying is, you're telling me Zach LaVine can't be on
I
a contending.
don't agree because I don't think the Bulls are a true contender.
Whoa, no, but I'm saying if you take Zach LaVine off of the Bulls, you put him on a contending team. You don't think that that team would be winning a championship? Think about what the Warriors just did. You think that Klay Thompson was a two-way player in the finals? That's what I'm saying. It's
hard. It's win lose. So it's pick and choose with Klay. You need Klay Thompson on that Warriors team in order to win, but the way he performed, it's like he's still needed, but
he wasn't a two-way though. He wasn't a two-way player. That's my point. So when you come back to Anthony Edwards,
when does he stop becoming a two-way player?
When he came back from injury.
Okay,
that's fair. As soon as he came back from injury, he stopped being a two-way player.
Klay Thompson's no longer considered a two-way player?
I wouldn't consider him a two-way player. I would say that he's a good. The dude averages still almost 20 points a night.
I think you got to give him his credit after one season.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say that he defends. He doesn't defend as well as he used to.
We would need to back that up. We would need to back it up with like PER and defensive stats.
I mean, we could do that, but I just know coming back he's not the same.
He's not the same. We can all agree on that.
I know coming back that if it's a pick and roll, they're looking for Klay Thompson and Steph Curry now, and they're avoiding.
I feel like the defense wouldn't let Klay shoot threes the way they let Westbrook shoot threes.
No, I'm not.
You're
talking about offensively.
Offensively, yes. Defensively, you still have to watch out for Klay as much as you have to watch out for Steph. And with that attention,
no. I'm saying switch it. What I'm saying is, if I'm like somebody like Luka, right?
Right.
I'm looking for a pick and roll so that Curry or Klay is guarding me and not Andrew Wiggins.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference now. As before pre-injury, it was I'm just looking for Curry to guard me or whoever their big man was to guard me.
I don't think we're at that point yet with Klay Thompson. I don't think we're at the point where we look for him off screens. I mean, in order to get a favorable matchup.
I mean, to be honest with you, the numbers tell me that the Warriors are 12-11.
That's a rough start. Every championship team has a rough start.
They're
That's a rough start. I'll give the teams with tenure and championship experience, I'll give them optimism. I am very optimistic about where they're headed.
But
in the playoffs, do you think the teams like, let's go to the young teams that's leading, like Utah Jazz. They started off.
No,
they're out.
Utah is 6.
They're 6 within how many games though? 2?
Yeah, 6 within like a half game.
Okay, so we can still put them in the playoff picture. If money's on the line, am I betting the Utah Jazz to win a playoff series over a team like the Warriors?
No.
If I'm a bet, no one will. You can just say regular season success within the first 20 games, and then you can also look on the other hand and say teams that have championship experience in the playoffs come 60, 70 games within the season.